Hello, everyone. I wanted to take a couple minutes to go over the final writing prompt that you will have for this class, and that is for the research essay. And just as with the last writing prompt, the rubric for the essay is on the second page here. So, a little bit of review. Everything that we have been working for in this course has led up to this final assignment. So, we began with talking about how to cite sources, how to cite images, and how to put those things into your paper. We talked about MLA formatting, and then we talked about developing a research question and the different types of research, from an argumentative research to a research analysis. And then we had our first assignment, which was the research proposal. So you were going to propose a research question that you wanted to investigate. And then we moved on to the annotated bibliography, which allowed you to do some preliminary research and to find some sources that could possibly help you answer your research question. And now we're moving on to the culmination of all of that, and that is the research essay. And so all those things that we have been working on are going to come together in this final paper. So one of the first things that I'm going to be looking for is, does the research essay contain elements that we discussed earlier in class? And so that is going to take a look at what we discussed when we talked about the research question, and we'll review that in another PowerPoint in this class. The research essay proposes a clear research question and is treated objectively throughout the paper and directly related to the topic of colony collapse disorder. So obviously, I would prefer that everybody develop the research question that was approved, and that's what I'm looking for, and the research question that I gave you feedback on. And we want to look objectively throughout the paper about colony collapse disorder. Remember, this is not an argumentative research paper. We're not trying to prove a point. We're trying to understand something. So that's different than argument. The research essay uses sources from your annotated bibliography, and it includes at least 4 academic sources. Now, I think I said earlier, I'm not tying you to your annotated bibliography. You don't have to use every single source you put in there, but it would be an awful waste of time if you didn't use some of the sources from your annotated bibliography. And I am requiring that you use at least 4 academic sources. You can use credible sources, but 4 of them at least need to be academic. All right, and then the research essay has 1 to 2 images properly formatted, bringing meaning to the paper. So remember, images are supposed to give people information in a small amount of space, or like a pie chart or a graph or a visual of some sort. And it's supposed to help them understand a point better than you could possibly write it in your paragraph. So I did do a PowerPoint on how to include images into a paper, so make sure to review that if you have forgotten. But you will be required to use at least 1. So the research essay was submitted for review and revised accordingly to the provided feedback. So I, like with the other 2 assignments, will be taking the time to review your work and then giving it back to you, and I expect you to look at that feedback and respond to it, and I should be able to see the changes in your final draft. The research essay is 5 to 7 full pages in length, not including the works cited page. So I'm sorry, did I say 5 to 7? 6 to 7 pages in length. So the takeaway here is full pages. So a full page is at the bottom or beginning of the next page. It does not include your works cited pages. So that's just references. The actual length of your essay is from the beginning to the very last page of your writing, not the last page of the works cited. So that doesn't count. And again, a full page is all the way to the last line of the last page. The research essay is in MLA format. So we've gone over that. Some of you guys struggle with a few things in here and there. But for most part, I feel like we've got that in this class. So if you were taking the time to make sure that you had your sources and your annotated bibliography perfect and you use those sources in this essay, then your works cited page should be really easy. And then all you really have to do is focus on the formatting throughout the body of your paper. And again, that is fairly simple as well. And then finally, the research essay shows evidence of having been carefully edited for grammar and syntax before submission. So look for the obvious things, subject-verb agreement. Look for run-on sentences, for fragments. So those sorts of things. Those are mainly what I look for because that's the kind of thing that's going to distract a reader. Obviously, spelling should be on point, but that's not such a big deal these days with how good our word processors are at correcting our spelling for us. So look for those sorts of things. It should be a polished draft. Okay, due dates. So your draft will be due for my review and feedback of week 13 on Sunday, November 24th at 11:59 p.m. So I know on the rubric it says nothing due. I need to go back and fix that. But really, it's at the end of the week, you need to upload the essay so that I can have time to give you feedback the following week. And then you have time to go back and edit and revise and then turn it in. So I need it by November 24th at 11:59 p.m. I will then review it and give you guys feedback during week 14. And then I'm going to return it to you by December 1st at 11:59 p.m. And then you will have the rest of the semester to complete the essay. So your final submission will be on the last day of instruction during finals week. And that's not a Sunday, obviously, that's a Friday. So we're breaking from our typical Sunday deadline, and it's going to be due on Friday, December 13th at 11:59 p.m. And so that is when I need to see all final submissions. Okay, so let's talk about the rubric. Really nothing different from the last rubrics that you see in this class. All I did for points 1 through 8 was I just simply copied everything that we see here, everything that I have already highlighted. I simply copied all of that and I gave points over here. So basically we have between 12 and 13 points is what I weighted everything at, and so I weighted everything fairly equally. So you don't really want to miss any of these points. Okay, so that is the rubric and the prompt. And that's what we're going to be working towards for the rest of the semester. So if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. Otherwise, please review the rest of the material in this week's folder.